Now, when I tell you that Netero is one of the coldest old men in anime, he earned that title. The chairman of the Hunters Association and the strongest character in the show spent the whole time doing absolutely nothing. But if you're a real anime fan and you know the rules about old men in anime, then you know what's up. Very similar to Yamamoto in Bleach, we didn't get to see him go fully all out until the final arc of the series. Anime wise, at least. Not only did Netero pick the perfect time to let his nuts hang, but he also picked the greatest arc in anime to do it in as well. While the Chimera ants were catching bodies, the Royal Guards are working on the Zero Mortals plan, and Meruem was getting hit with character development, the Hunters Association were forming a plan to take down the king. Netero puts on his battle gear, saying that this might be the last thing he ever wears. Man already knew he was taking the L before the fight even started. Now, what's so special about this basic ass fit that you would see somebody wearing at the gym is that he's practically undefeated in it. Netero asked Colt to rate his fit, and he told him 0 out of 10, boy. And Netero was like, damn, alright. Well, how do I rank in comparison with the king in terms of power? Colt tells him straight up that he won't even make it past the Royal Guards, and that's when Netero took it personal. Mans hopped into the hyperbolic time chamber and was clapping ants just to get his swagger back. What's funny about this scene is that it reminded me of the Z Fighters watching Goku and Cell fight in the Cell Saga, and they were glazing Goku up. Meanwhile, Gohan's like, man, these niggas stink. So we flash forward to the night of the raid, and Killua and the gang are getting ready to storm the castle as planned. But Netero was like, F all that, and pulled it up 2 minutes before the raid was supposed to start. This is when narrator Sama starts cooking up a masterpiece. We see 2 people jump off a flying dragon. All of a sudden, Pitou's ant sister started tingling and she enters battle mode. Then, all of a sudden, they see a golden dragon. For a second, they were scared because they thought it was Goku getting ready to hit a dragon fist and break the power system in Hunter x Hunter. But in actuality, it was just Netero and Zeno, giving us one of the greatest entrances in anime history. Zeno makes it rain with thousands of dragon arrows, and then there's Netero, posing like the final boss. Not gonna lie, the way this man was just standing in the air with the arrows surrounding him made his drip game go from 0 to 100 real quick. Pitou pulls up on Netero and activates her Nin ability, and this is when narrator Sama and Netero fused together and was looking like LeBron and D Wade. Netero says, bad move, little thought. And instead of Pitou's life flashing before her eyes, she gets hit with a speech from Zeno-sama, gassing up Netero before he sends her to heaven's door. Zeno says Netero is that guy, and you're about to become the next Linkin Park AMV. This man wasted no time and attacked her in 1/10 of a second. And this is old man Netero we're talking about here. So imagine how fast he was moving in his prime. Arms was looking like Bruce Leroy when he activated the glow. Or if you're uncultured, Bruce Lee. He summoned his mighty pimp hand and sends her flying. Pitou got slapped so hard that we got hit with a flashback just to show how raw he was. This man was practicing the same move all day and night, to the point where he could do 10,000 punches in under an hour. Bruce Lee said it best, be afraid of the person that practices the same move 10,000 times. Netero's punches were faster than sound itself. Man was looking and smelling like a hardcore Smash Bros player. If you know, you know. After sending her flying, Netero's like, peace little one. I hope Gon doesn't turn you into a pack. Spoiler alert, he does. Then we see them pull up on Meruem, who's holding a wounded Komugi, and is like,
now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
Everyone in the room stood still because they knew that one false move and they were ending up a 5-star meal. Zeno was on go time, but Netero said, hold up, let the narrator cook for a second. After Meruem gives Pitou the order to save Komugi, he tells Netero that we shouldn't fight here and go somewhere else. They let their guard down for a split second, and Meruem just casually walked right past them. Now, we've seen this moment multiple times, but the most impactful one besides the Hunter x Hunter one was in One Piece, when Luffy literally walked past Big Mom and Kaido on Roof Piece, just looking straight up goated, surrounded by that red aura. But there have been other times where it's been done, but that's like literally the only one I can remember at the moment. But I'm pretty sure it's been done multiple times. Anyway, he moved so fast that he had enough time to do a Quicksilver montage on him. If it wasn't for the sparkly background, I guarantee it would have been a brown background because they were shook. Zeno sends them to an isolated location, and during the ride there, Merrim's is chilling with his arms folded looking like a boss, and Netero is looking at him like, how am I gonna clap this nigga after what I just witnessed? They get to the battlefield, and right off the back, Merrim asks him why does he fight. The level of disrespect is real. He sounded like Togashi gave him the manga panels and spoiled the fight for him. Merrim is hitting the talk no jutsu, and Netero's like, hold up, he's actually spitting. But he's got a job to do, so he can't just flat out say that to him. Netero activates his Buddha technique and hits Merrim with the meanest boy I've ever seen in my life. Like, it was so bad that I thought he was about to start roasting him. Then he makes it clap by hitting Merrim with the old school bug killer move, but that literally did nothing. Netero shook because that move's been around since Jesus walked the earth, and it literally did nothing to this man. Merrim sits back down and wants to politic with him. Netero tells him, hey, you wanna learn your name? You gotta fight me. Merrim's like,
oh, say less.
After Netero's flashback, he starts throwing up gang signs using the order technique on Merrim and knocks him underground and tells him that this is your tomb. Netero summons the pimp hand once again and sends him flying. Netero does his infamous heart pose and starts catching feelings, and then the fight basically turns into a pinball game. The only thing missing was the sound effects. At this point, both of them are enjoying the fight. This is one big game of chess, or in this case, gungi. After getting hit so many times, Merrim finally gets to land a blow and takes Netero's leg. Merrim tells him he's gonna take his arm next, and what happens next was a thing of beauty. The fight basically turns into a DBZ fight, but that only lasted like less than a minute, which is basically like a regular Dragon Ball fight. And he takes Netero's arm. Merrim's like, look man, I took your arm and your leg. The only thing left to take is your cheeks. Do you really want this? Do you really want the fans to see that? Netero laughs it off and says, do you think I can't pray with one arm? Merrim's like, what did he say? Did I hear that right? Netero activates his Zero Hand, which is basically his strongest attack and delivers indiscriminate love. The aura of this attack was so strong that it made Killua hit a U-turn and go a different route. Man basically flipped Merrim off like they were eternal rivals, and a huge blast fires off. This was the first time Merrim took damage. Like, this was the equivalent of Vegeta using the Final Flash on Cell, but got hold because of plot armor. After using Zero Hand, Netero practically looks like a raisin, and Merrim just stands tall. He tells Netero that he's built different and that humans will never be the alphas that they think they are. Despite the battle reaching its climax, there's no sign of defeat from either side. As a dying wish, Netero tells him his name and that he doesn't understand the infinite potential of human evolution. And this is when narrator Sama drops a Hall of Fame speech.
Just then, the king felt true fear for the first time. These were not the words of a beaten and broken old man awaiting the icy grip of death. But one glance at the resolve written across his face made it clear he meant every single word.
Man was straight up looking like he activated a curse technique, looking like that old ass nigga from Jujutsu Kaisen who plays the guitar. Netero channels the American in him and resorts to the most heinous act that a country can do. He straight up drops a nuke on him, or in this case, a rose bomb. Which is kind of funny because in real life there's always a meme about killing a bug with a gun or some kind of lethal weapon, so it makes sense for them to use a damn bomb. Merrim realizes that he lost the fight before it even started and takes the explosion like a champ. The rose bomb was so legendary that it practically gave the fans a Netflix documentary on it mid-battle between an old man and a roach. I respect Netero for his decision to do this last resort move in such an isolated area because of the damage that the rose bomb had done to so many people in the past. He made sure that the only people that got hurt were him and the king. Spoiler alert, Merrim survived it and he looks like a raisin just like Netero. But his reign came to an end because of the poison of the bomb. So you can kind of say that it was a draw between both parties, or you can say that Netero technically won because he got the last laugh. But in actuality, Merrim did win. But you can go either way with it, so it doesn't matter. Netero easily became top 3 old men in anime, maybe 4 depending on how you ranking him. So with that being said, thanks for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed the video and drop a comment. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.